What's up, everybody? Thanks for dropping in. My name's Dylan, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips to save money after college. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1 is to start a budget. Make sure that you know where the money's coming in, where the money's going out. Look at what you're normally spending on and see if there's any cutbacks you can make. So the first tip I have for you is to make a budget, and that involves breaking down where the money's coming into and where it's going to be saved. So I highly recommend that you have 4 different categories for your money, and you can have more than that, but have those 4 different sections for where the money's going to go. The first one is a retirement fund. So whether where you work has a 401k or some type of retirement plan, get involved with that, invest in that. It's super important. Some of your money should be going there. The other account that I'm going to suggest having money go into is an emergency fund in case you get unemployed and it's unexpected, or you're in a transition period in your life where you're moving or starting a family. It's super important to have that money to fall back on. So make sure you start that, and it doesn't have to be a lot of your money, obviously, but just even putting a little bit of your paycheck into it every week will make it completely worth it down the road. The other category is spending money, and this is spending on discretionary purchases. So, not rent. Just like if you want to go out, have fun with friends, just use this money, and it shouldn't be a big chunk of it. The other final category is the money that you're going to be, actively spending on what you need to spend it on. So whether it's gas, food, insurance, bills, rent, mortgage payments, whatever that is, that's like the big chunk of your spend. That's the big thing that you need to keep track of. See where you can cut costs there, but at the same time, make sure you're living within your means. You're not taking on debt, and that really just comes into being sensible with your money. If you have to, pick up a book on managing money, you might want to have something like that. Another tip I have is to get rid of your debt as soon as possible. Living at home is obviously a great way to save money, but that's not possible for everybody. Some people, especially a lot of people I saw at school, lived in areas where there wasn't as much economic opportunity, there weren't as many jobs being offered, and so they had to go far away from where they grew up and where they had home to actually make money, make a living, which means you're going to have to move, and you're going to have to get an apartment and make payments, and that's less money that you can put towards your loans. But one thing I noticed, and I wish I noticed it sooner, is that interest rates on loans is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd, especially when after college you're just trying to start out, make things work for you, get your career going in the right direction, and you have all these payments, and with how high the interest rates are on loans, it's really worth it to put as much money as you can afford towards them and get rid of them as soon as possible. The average loan takes years and years and years, and most people pay off their loans by the time they're in their 30s. So it's it takes a while, and being able to get rid of those sooner will help you save money down the line, because then you're not spending all this extra money on interest. I would like to say as a tip to live at home as long as you can, to save money, whether you want to put a down payment on a house, or get a new car, or make a move and try something else, whether it's a different job or go back to school. It's really helpful to be able to save as much money as possible. I don't want to suggest that as a tip because it's not doable for everyone. I want these tips to be doable for everybody, whether it's budgeting out your funds or saving money by bringing your own lunch to work, whatever it may be. I want them to be general tips that apply to everyone, or at least as many people as possible. So besides making a budget and putting as much money as you can towards loans, avoiding debt at all costs is extremely important. There's going to be a few cases where you can't really avoid it, or you could, but it's super rare. Like if you're going to build a house, buy a house, you're obviously going to need to take on a mortgage probably, and that is a form of debt. So that's definitely something that you're gonna have to deal with, but I'm talking about credit card debt. I'm talking about debt that you accrue from meaningless purchases, or purchases that you don't, really need to make, like that new pair of shoes, or that, or going out every single weekend, spending a ton of money on booze, and not even really caring because you think, you know, you have a job now, it's okay. You know, don't let having a paycheck coming into you be a means to blow the money wastefully. You know, just because you have this money now and you know you might not be accustomed to it because when you were in college you weren't working with a lot, don't let that just go to your head and get spent quickly. You know, still be responsible with it. It's really tough because, you know, it's like you're coming into you're like a kid in a candy store and the store owner says, you know, take as much as you can carry out. It's like you're obviously going to want to take a ton, but it's still candy. It's still not good for you. It's still spending on things that, you know, you don't need to spend on. So definitely take that into consideration, and that should help save a lot more money down the road. Things are just things at the end of the day. You know, prioritize experiences. That's what is really more meaningful, in my opinion, in life. So that can be, you know, a great way to save some money if, you know, you're not as materialistic. And then another tip I have is to start investing. It doesn't have to be a lot. Another tip I have is to start investing. Invest early, and it doesn't have to be a lot, but getting involved with investing with some of your paycheck can be super helpful down the road, and it's just a little thing that can really go a long way. You don't have to put your whole life into it. You know, you can get really, really deep into the stock market. It can end up being a huge time waster, a big stressor, and end up, you know, consuming your life. I'm not saying to do that. I'm not saying to, you know, be that financially involved with it, but even just investing in a couple stocks, maybe some bonds, and just, you know, putting money in places and not just having it sit in a savings account that's accruing 0.00002% interest. So, you know, get involved with that, manage your money wisely. You know, don't put too much money in where you don't have enough to spend on what you need. You know, figure out what your costs are. It sounds super nerdy, but, you know, make a spreadsheet. Just put what money you're earning and then put where the money goes each month. Break it down by week if you have to. I would suggest monthly, but, you know, however you need to break it down to manage your spend, that should be really helpful. So those are just a few quick tips I have. Thank you for watching. If you are a recent college graduate, or if you've been, you know, graduated from college for a few years and you're just trying to make it work, I really hope that these tips are helpful for you, and I appreciate you watching. Make sure to give this video a like and consider subscribing. I do post videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and I'm gonna be, as I said in past videos, starting to get more involved with, you know, skits, vlogs, short films, different types of content, which is really what I want to be bringing to you. As much as I like making these videos because they are easy and I do feel like, you know, I'm able to help somewhat, they're ultimately not the direction I want to take the channel in. So do keep that in mind, and I hope to get those videos out to you very soon. So thanks for watching.